We have Baleba updates, and the news is coming very quickly right now. And I'm not gonna lie, this is starting to annoy me. It's actually starting to annoy me. Listen, guys, before we get into this news, make sure that you like and subscribe. Like button is the thumbs up button, and of course, the subscribe button is down there. I think there's about 45% or 50% actually aren't subscribed to the channel, so you don't know what to do. Go and subscribe. But we have a Belieber update, and we're gonna get to it straight away. We're not gonna waste no time. Drop a comment below on what you think of this news. Do you think the move's gonna happen? Do you think the move isn't gonna happen? But there are sources saying that Manchester United, God, this is gonna kill me. It's annoying just to read this stuff, man. Clearly United feel like they have a chance on this, otherwise they wouldn't be entering these talks. And this is from Laurie Whitwell, by the way, that have been going on for a little bit of time. Intermediaries with Brighton as well. And obviously, if you actually just go back one step as well, the update an hour ago is where Laurie Whitwell quotes, "I think Man United feel that this is the summer to try and steal a march on other clubs that might go for him next year. And now they can make it work financially." Sorry, he says, and now can they make it work financially? The payment terms is a big thing. Installments, paying the cash, PSR, FFP. Now, again, when we look at everything that's being said about this, the main thing obviously is the payment terms being a big thing. But there is some extra news. There is some extra news coming out as well. And there's a Donnarumma stuff as well that we'll speak about. But there is extra news and some extra quotes. He also goes on to say, clearly United, well, sorry, I just read that bit already. There is some extra news here. And this is from Andy Mitten. It goes, Carlos Baleba to Manchester United is going to be quite a difficult deal to do. Of course, United have to make sales. We know this. The finances are tight at the moment, but this is the encouragement that United fans need to have right now. There is absolutely willing from Carlos Baleba to join Man United. The player wants the move. And of course, Nabil, the one who actually is very good when it comes to African players, the French guy that's he broke the Euro news. He has a few things to his name. He's not complete. Like, you can't look at this guy and think, oh my God, he's chatting rubbish. He does have some credibility in Nabil Jalip. He says the record for the biggest transfer in history for an African player will be broken by Carlos Baleba. Not can be, not might be, it will be broken. 112 million is being discussed behind the scenes at Manchester United. This is the one here that you guys need to look at. This is the one that he's paying very close attention to. Again, he's had word in the Euro news and stuff like that. So that is a deal that you have to look at, and we can't take this lightly anymore. It looked very, this move looked very unlikely. Again, players have to leave. Packages, installments, PSR, all these things. But Man United, I think, seem very confident to make it happen. And I actually do agree with Laurie Whitwell on this one. Man United wouldn't be going for this deal unless there was encouragement from the players. Very similar to the Liverpool and Isak situation, where if there wasn't encouragement to begin with, even though the deal is difficult, the club wouldn't be making contact and trying to figure out ways and installments that this deal can be configured. I think they've gone over to Manchester United. So they've gone over to Brighton and said, does this player want to move? And he says yes. I think Baleba said yes to Man United. I think he does want the move, and it's just about how the move can be done with both clubs. Brighton are very, very, very difficult to do business with. They're very difficult to do business with. And the more each day goes by, more and more news is leaking out about Baleba wanting the move to Manchester United. Again, I feel like players will have to leave. Rasmus Højlund will go on loan as well. Jadon Sancho, obviously, he's definitely leaving the club as well. Garnacho to Chelsea. He's patiently waiting for the move. We heard what was said about Garnacho patiently wanted to move to Chelsea. So those are 3 moves already that are most likely going to happen. Anthony's probably going to go out on loan or probably a permanent buy. We haven't heard anything from Anthony yet, but we're going to hear things over on that side. Man United aren't as broke as everyone says. Trust me, because if they're about to fork out 112 million and break the record for Carlos Baleba, that will be a few players that they paid for now, including Sesko and Buemo, and of course Mateus Cunha. So the money is there. It's just Man United have to be very savvy and very smart in the way that they navigate their sales, they navigate their negotiation skills with Brighton, as I said, Brighton are very difficult to do business with, and I think Brighton will get their money. They always do get their money unless there's a sort of a hidden release clause, like the McAllister deal, for example. So this, again, I've already spoken about how good this deal is going to be. I've spoken about how amazing of a player Baleba can be, how great of a player he is now for his age, the qualities he possesses, very similar to that of maybe a Caicedo. He has the dribbling skills. He can dribble similar in a way to Basuma before he left Brighton as well. And you look at his maturity as a player, the minutes he's getting. If he goes and takes that to Manchester United on a bigger stage, yes, Man United are not in Europe this season, but next season they're going to be aiming for the European stage, whether that's Champions League or Europa League or even Conference League, wherever stage it is, he's going to be performing on the bigger stage. And when you perform well at Manchester United, the whole world is on alert. That's just what it is. Whether Man United are crap, whether they're good, the whole world is watching. That's what comes with being a big club. Same thing with us. Like the whole world is watching a lot of the time. So we know what comes with wearing the Manchester United badge. We know what comes with the high price tag. But again, he's a player that's so mature for his age that I don't think many of these things are going to phase him. If any player was linked to Baleba, if any player was linked and all of this stuff was coming out of Baleba, everyone would be saying, you know what, I think it might be happening. You know what, I think this could happen. And the fact that the player wants the move, or the player seems to be open to the move, and you know, Brighton are kind of more looking how to configure the deal in terms of how they'll get the best part of the deal financially. That is just as good as letting the clubs kind of figure out how they're going to navigate the deal. If the player is open to the move, or the player wants to move, or it was only Man United, it was only Liverpool, it was only Arsenal, it was only Chelsea. When you hear those words, that is just as important as hearing whether your club can facilitate the move financially or not. People very much underestimate those quotes of what the player wants. You know, Kudus really wanted Spurs. Isak wants Liverpool. Whether the deal goes through or not, Isak wants to go to Liverpool. Do you know what I'm saying? Xavi Simons wants Chelsea. Gyökeres wanted Arsenal. Mbuemo, it was always United. Cunha, it was always Man United. So these are the things that you guys need to pay attention to, man. And as I said, Nabil, Laurie Whitwell, and of course, who was the other? It was Andy Mitten, are all saying the same thing. Difficult deal, but the player is absolutely willing to join Man United. It's just because finances could be tight in terms of the record-breaking deal. It will be done in installments, but 1 or 2 sales, and this move, we could see this move accelerate very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. Listen, I'm going to keep it a buck. As a Liverpool fan, this is not something I want to be seeing. Man United need to stay in the dirt. They need to stay in the dust, and they need to stay in the dumpsters. They need to stay in the landfill heaps. I cannot have them getting big, bad boy midfielders, especially when one midfielder who can do most things well makes a lot of players improve around you. And all of a sudden, the players with question marks look a bit more assured. The players with question marks look like they can stay, and you know, other good players make other players better, especially the really good players. And Baleba, I believe, is one of them. So again, guys, if you've made it this far, please make sure you do hit this like button. That is I just wanted to give you guys a really quick update on this one, because it is incredible news for the Manchester United faithful, and not so much great news for the rivals. I'll be honest, but we'll be very sure to keep you guys updated on the next things that we hear coming straight out of Manchester United, and whether they have the funds to make it happen in the right way on Brighton's terms. But I think Brighton are a selling club. I don't feel like they'll hold firm in this one. Let me know in the comments if you guys actually think that this deal is going to happen. If you guys feel like Brighton are going to sell, let me know. If you feel like they're not going to sell, let me know also. But in terms of just all and what he is going to offer and what he can bring, Man United are absolutely right in thinking they have to get this deal done this window, because a lot of teams are going to come in and think, oh my days, Baleba's available, the Chelseas, the Liverpools, even the Man Cities, Rodri is getting injuries again. We're not too sure how long that's going to last injury-wise. Teams around the world are going to be they're going to be on alert for Carlos Baleba's availability. And if Man United can kind of get that, they look like they've got kind of a free run at the moment. If they can take advantage of that free run, it's going to be probably one of the best signings of the window on paper, in my opinion. And it's like I said, how I look at it, like the Isak signing. Sometimes you have to make these signings, not just because the club's been looking at them for a long time, but just also to weaken the rivals. If your rival, Manchester United know rivals are going to be looking at this man. They're going to be looking at this young man. And in my opinion, just like Isak, I don't want Isak going to another Premier League club. And if it means we have to go and get him for an extortionate price, then so be it. So be it. But listen, we'll see you guys in the next one. And boy, man, more news is coming out by the second, man. Looks like it's going to happen.